Yo, what's up, everybody, and welcome back to NXT with Najee, you're part of the Wrestling Heroes and Insiders podcast, aka The Whip Show, and we are here for episode 49. This is like the season semi-finale, if you must, because we're going to go to episode 50, which is the next one. Then we're going to take just a little bit of a break, just so we can kind of prepare and create maybe some new visuals, some different things like that for you for the summer. Now, with episode 49, I am bringing in a very, 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 very close personal, long time friend of mine. Me and him used to work at a special needs camp together. That's how this whole journey of our friendship started. We were on the program team in the program department together for like 2 winters and I think maybe a summer, a half summer, something like that. But ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, he is the co-host of Behind the Barricade. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for Superstar Dar. What's up, brother?
What's up, y'all? Man, thanks for having me, man. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, I'm excited to have you too. I forgot to mention his other nickname for those of
Oh
y'all
yeah,
before we
the
get
brother
started.
with the stutter.
The brother with the stutter, just in case you guys are watching the episode and you know,
Well, like,
all
oh,
right,
whoa,
what's
oh,
going on?
yeah,
Hey, well, there's
yeah,
nothing wrong. It's my best, it's my
nothing
boy, man. How
crazy.
you been? How you been?
I've been good, man, bro. I don't think we've spoken since like COVID, dude. Like,
Yeah, dude, it was pretty crazy. Like we talked on Instagram and stuff, like just about
yeah,
wrestling. Once you got back into it a little bit, and then I started diving into it, and then that's kind of how our friendship kind of picked back up. So that's dope. But man, it had been a while, like up
yeah, for
until maybe
sure.
about 3 or 4 months ago.
Exactly, man. Just like you said, we were at that camp together and stuff, and we were supposed to like meet up and like work together again. But then like things just got like shut down and stuff, and then like
Yep.
but now we're back here and stuff. So
Yeah,
it's
we
just
are. I think
yeah.
we were all on our way back to VU, and then
Honestly, yeah,
things
they're
got
just
real.
yep.
Yep. New management. You know how it goes, though. Hey, man. But I'm happy to see you doing well, bro. The podcast is hilarious. I don't know if you guys have had a chance to check it out or if you know who he is. But yo, tell these people, what you do, where they can find you, before we kick things off for the episode.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. Like you said before, you can find me at Behind the Barricade podcast, where you can find the fans' perspective on the past, present, and future of the WWE. If you want to follow me on my personals as well, you can follow me at superstar.dar. Yeah, man, it's a me and my boy G. We actually work together as well at a middle school. We are both in a special education and stuff. So it kind of fits with the whole camp vibes,
Heck yeah.
still doing the same thing and stuff. And like, yeah, like we both like found out that each other likes wrestling and stuff, and we kind of just thought like, yo, man, like let's just do a podcast. And then like we're now we actually just wrapped up the season finale of season two about an
Oh,
hour
hey.
before I'm coming on now. So yeah, man, I gave him the good news and stuff. So yeah, we just been yeah.
Hey, congratulations, man. Look at that.
Thanks,
Looks
man.
like the
Appreciate it.
season two vibes are in the air.
Yeah,
They're all
man.
starting to wrap up. That's amazing, dude. But yo, for real, guys, like if you guys are listening, watching, please, please, please check them out. They're hilarious, bro. They're it's a great show. I enjoy it. I enjoy it myself. Now we are going to kick in and kick off into this episode, the May 13th, 2025 episode of NXT. We are almost to Battlegrounds now. So a lot of different things going on. Some great matches planned for Battleground. And the show starts off with the first match involving Obafemi, the NXT champion, going against Charlie Dempsey, who is, now he is associated with Miles Bourne, who is a number one contender. I usually don't cover the promos, but Miles came out and did a fire promo and talking about, not wanting to be known by his disability, but, being known for overcoming the odds and different things like that. But that was awesome. But
Same.
yeah, man, it's yeah, for real. But the match was almost what we expected it to be, but Charlie really showed his technical style in it. Charlie went hard technical to the point where Oba couldn't be the normal powerhouse that he wanted to be, but as usual, eventually Oba ended up taking over and winning the match. Now, my question for you about this is with Oba still having the championship, and it's not looking like anybody's going to take it anytime soon because he's been in the triple threats and won them and gone like he's done the whole multi-man thing and now he's getting his first one-on-one. Do you think that Miles is the one to do it? And if not, who do you think will be the one to dethrone Oba?
Honestly, if it's not Miles Bourne, I think Oba holds that thing for at least like one more calendar year from now. Like he's taken down every single person
Unfortunately.
on that roster and stuff. And like I've been saying for like a few weeks, like I think what would be really cool is that like if Oba does lose that title, it's just someone like maybe like Javon Evans,
Hmm.
who's like super young, who has time to like be down there in NXT for like a 12 to 14 months or so to finally challenge him again. And it's something that I feel like would be believable and would just be like a feel good story as well. That like the young OG, the underdog just takes down Obafemi. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that too. Now you said a calendar year. You don't think Oba's gonna go in the draft? I think I feel like he should, but do you think he
I do
stays?
too. I do too. Honestly, I would love for him to be drafted, but if they don't, it's either he's champion or he gets drafted. Like that's the only way. Either he like gives up the belt himself to move up to like the main roster,
Yeah.
or like he's there for like the foreseeable future. But honestly, like you bring up a good point because like I don't see how many other people he has to like face at this point. So
Yeah, and like we've mentioned that on the show here before a couple times. Like
yeah.
we think he just in a perfect world he just Indy Hartwells it and just relinquishes the
Mhm.
title after
Yeah.
they get drafted. But where do you think
Mhm.
where do you think you should go? You think well, I mean, I guess it's really hard. That's a hard one to answer too because if it's a draft, everything's gonna look different.
Right, right.
But do you see him being the ruler of Raw or the ruler of SmackDown? Could be.
Um, that's tough. I think if you want to like give him the Braun Breaker treatment, you put him on Raw because like right
Yeah,
now like Jay is the champion, right? So like I could see a world where like Braun like challenges a Jay or a Dom. I think he could take them both down right now.
yeah,
Um, but if you have him on SmackDown, I feel like there's a lot more like heavy hitters like there. Like he would have to get past like at least Jacob Fatu and
yeah,
stuff. So. Yeah,
yeah,
I would say Raw, or like depending on what their plan is for him. Like, does he want to get the Braun Breaker or the Carmelo Hayes treatment? So,
yeah. I like. Okay. All right. So we're gonna move on to match number two. Now, match number two also has a lot of story involved with it.
hmm
It is Tony D versus Wesley. I feel like this match kind of was birthed in the Battle Royal a few weeks ago, or yeah, 2 weeks ago now, I believe. But Tony D's got his own thing going on now. When Wesley comes out, he doesn't come out alone. He comes out with Tyreek and Tyson. Now they have a new faction name called the High Rise, and I think that's kind of dope. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of a dope name.
that's fire.
I didn't really see it coming until I just looked over to my right at the screen and it had the new logo on it, and that was kind of cool because they combined um almost like the same font from before for TNT with
Yep.
Wesley's like coloration and color style. So it was a good
Oh, I see.
collab. It's a good collab, cool collab. But it's Wes did his thing. Wes did his thing like he normally does. Super high flying, super fast, uses speed to his advantage. But Tony's pissed off. Tony eventually takes over this match and starts to dominate until on the screen you got Stacks coming on saying that he knows where Rizzo's safe house is. And now he's gonna go pay Rizzo a visit. And of course, classic WWE finisher move gets hit by Wesley. Wesley gets the win. And Tony D pissed off. Tony D leaves, gets in the car. Now he's heading off to see Stacks and figure out what's going on with all that. Now that leads me to the question for you about this
Yep.
match is what is next for Tony D? And do you think that Stacks is going to create his own family? Do you think that he's going to pop back up with Rizzo and Luca? Because right now I feel like Luca is dead.
Yeah, but bro, here's what I really want to. I really want Stacks to go over here. I'm not gonna lie. He's actually impressed me a lot with these past few promos and stuff. And like even when like he was still like before he like had his turn and stuff, like you could start to see the betrayal coming and
Hmm.
stuff. So I could see a world where Stacks beats Tony, and maybe even that's where Up Crucifino finally comes back and like helps Stacks win and stuff. So now we see that maybe Stacks just takes over the whole family and stuff because like we haven't seen Rizzo either.
No, since
And
Mania.
honestly, yeah, man. And honestly, something me and my boy G have been talking about is like, does Tony D'Angelo also get called up at some point? Because we feel like he's been down there
Yeah.
for a while, and
Yep.
like honestly, I feel like he has everything you need to like be successful. Like he's gotten that family gimmick over. He's very good in the ring. Like some people will say he's like undersized, but shoot, like Jeff Cobb just like
Yeah.
showed up and they're like the same and they're like the same height, dang near. So yeah, I think personally I would love to see Tony on the main roster. I think I could see him on Raw or us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I'd say Raw.
I
Yeah.
feel like that's a rumor going around too, is that Tony
Hmm.
D almost got called up last year with the whole family.
Yeah.
But I think this is
I
a
think it's time.
perfect way to separate them. That is an amazing way to look at it, and I agree 100%. So we're gonna move on from that one now to match number three. Which earlier, of course, Ethan Page had something to say about Miles Bourne getting a shot at the championship.
Hmm.
And this match kind of stemmed off a promo from that. So now we have Ethan Page versus Miles Bourne. And man, when I tell you inside of the PC, Darwin, that Miles Bourne is so over right now, bro, it's crazy.
I can only imagine, man.
Crazy. Over. And the baby Randy chants, I hear voices in my head. We sing it all the time, and they eat it up, dude. Ren thinks it's the funniest thing.
I love this.
But I think this match made him look very, very strong going into his match with Ethan. I think Ethan did a good job of not like jobbing here. Like he didn't um look like he was just purposely trying to make Miles look good. It was just a
Yeah.
very good match. But once again, pure WWE style, Miles wins with a roll up.
Yep.
Cool. But it gives him bragging rights now because now he can say he just pinned a former champion.
That's true.
And he didn't cheat. It was clean. It was just roll up. So I think this gives him a lot a lot of push, and they're pushing him right
Yep.
to the moon, like straight up. How you feel about Miles Bourne? Do you think he's the type of person that could be a Javon Evans level when it comes to being the face of NXT?
Yeah. Dude, bro, this is crazy, man, because I feel like in just a couple of weeks they've really made me like care so much for this dude.
Yeah,
I always thought he was like pretty good in like that tag team with the is it Tavion Heights,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Um,
NQCC, the
yep,
old
but
faction.
just like dang, man, like I don't even know how to like put it into words. Like this is the one storyline where I don't know what's going to happen, man. It's
Yeah,
like I want to say there's no way Oba Fami drops this belt, right? But it's just like you said, Miles is so over right now, and I'm a little biased, bro. Like I kind of resonate with him with like him a lot for like obvious reasons and stuff.
yeah,
So like I want to see him win, but I also want to see Oba have a really long reign and stuff. But at the end of the day, like I wouldn't be mad. I think the response he's gotten, and like you said, he just beat Ethan Page, which gives him a lot of credibility as well. And like for him to beat Oba Femi, to me, that's kind of like a Gunther versus like Sami Zayn type like
yeah. That's
comparison there, where
huge.
it's like I think that would really like send him up there on NXT as well. And I feel like this is a great time because like we're talking about the draft, like people are getting called up. There's going to be a lot of room like in like the main event scene or even like in the upper mid card and stuff. So like I'm
Yeah.
excited to see what they do with
Yeah,
Miles Thorne.
I hope they keep these like I hope they keep SmackDown 3 hours because
Yeah.
that would be
Oh,
a
yeah.
beautiful thing for the draft.
Hmm.
And they're saying the draft might be, I think, after the Tampa stuff, like the whole
Yeah. They're
weekend in
saying before
Tampa.
SummerSlam for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And either way, it's gonna be a fun one.
that's a
Last
good
year we
time
got
to
to
do it.
watch it at the PC with all the superstars getting drafted, and that was funny. Let me tell you, like I don't want to like break people's character too much, but
Right.
We had Joe Gacy in there dying, bro. Like, and he was trying to stay serious. But one more question about Miles. Do you think that like with the Randy comparisons, I think it's dope that like he has that as an inspiration and it's always
Yeah.
been like his inspiration. Do you think it's almost becoming too much, or do you think he sticks with it? I personally think he should stick with it.
I think he should stick with it too, mostly because for me personally, this is the first I've even heard of it. Like I've seen a
Mhm.
few of his matches, but it's crazy how looking back, I never put
The
that
power slam,
together.
bro.
Bro, that's crazy because like once I saw that, I was like, yeah, how did I not catch that? Because even when he does like that
Hmm.
that European uppercut and stuff,
Yep.
like he looks just like Randy as well. So it's yeah, they could run with that for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
All right, so we're gonna move to match number four. We're not gonna spend too much time on this one because it's kind of sad. Like the story
Mm,
behind it is low-key kind of really sad, and I don't
yeah,
want to like focus too much on somebody else's suffering, even though they're putting it into the storyline. We
yeah.
have Thea Hale versus Tatum Paxley. Now, Thea wins this match via disqualification because Tatum like rakes her in the eyeball or like pokes her in
Hmm.
the eyeball. Um, Now, if you guys don't remember, Gigi just got released, and so did her, I believe, husband, if I'm not mistaken. Javier Bernal got
Hmm.
released, and that sucks because I guarantee you they were like Triforce backstage, and just to kind of be back there by herself. Like obviously she probably does have really good friends, and she has more friends there, but I know that's got to be tough. And I just want to send some love out to Tatum and Gigi and Javi. Love you guys to death. So we're gonna move on to number five. Match number five, the last match of the night was a tag team match. It kind of, grew into out of another promo, and encounter in the night. We got Jordan Grace and Stephanie Vicure versus Fatal Influences, Fallon Henley and JC Jane, but no Jasmine Nix. From what I saw on social media, I think she was at a movie premiere or a show premiere with her partner. So that's
Gotcha.
where she was at, I believe. I could be wrong. Don't quote me. I'm not a scooper. Sometimes I hear stuff, but I'm not always right. All right. So this one classic. Can they coexist situation? Jordan Gray, Stephanie Vicura already lined up to fight each other at Battleground for the title. Um, Jordan seems to be very focused on just getting herself through this one and proving a point that she is who she is, and she ends up getting the pinfall, and wins it for her and Stephanie. Um, One thing, real quick, crowd. I love Fallon to death, and this is me trying not to be biased, but y'all just ease up on her, bro. She's not bad. She don't suck. The Fallon sucks chant is a lot of fun, but
I like Fallon actually.
yeah,
I
I was
don't
just
know,
going to
bro.
ask you that.
She's
How
one
do
of
you
my
feel about Fallon?
I like her. Yo, it's crazy because if you watch a couple of Behind the Barricade episodes, I speak very highly of her. I
Hmm.
think for one, her character work is great. I think she's a fantastic heel.
Oh,
For
it's
me,
ever
like
since
the
the Switch, it's been
facial
undeniable.
expressions, yeah, like she's great. And like in ring, like I'm not like I've never watched a match and be like, oh, like she's bad. It's like I think she keeps up. Like I think she's constantly put in positions where she's with people who are just very, 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 very good. So it's
Yeah,
kind of like that's not even like a knock to her. It's just like, yo, like when you're constantly having to go up against like a Julia and a Roxanne and like all these like super like athletic freaks, like I think people just like compare her to them, and like that's not very like to me like that's not fair. I think for
right.
her character, for the work that she does, she's very consistent. You know what she's gonna get out of her. I personally have been advocating for her to get called up as along with JC Jane. I don't know if they do that because I don't know if they're still like I guess Fatal Influence is still a trio right now, so.
Yeah.
I don't know if they wanted to move up all three or keep them all down there first a little more, but
Add
yeah, I
Laney
like Fallon.
Reed. I keep saying it. Add Laney Reed. But
But
yeah, man.
yeah, I like Fallon. Yeah, so
That's awesome, bro. Like I'm happy that there's some more people out here supporting that girl 'cause she's
mhm.
fantastic. She really is.
Yeah.
She ever since the switch, like you were saying, dude, undeniable. But we're gonna go back to the Jordan and Stephanie thing. So yes, they coexisted in the match, but then they have like a very intense standoff at the end of the match, but nobody throws a punch, which
Hmm.
I thought was a little surprising there. I guess they're saving it for the ring. Now, do you think that it's Jordan's turn? I think personally that Stephanie is they're shooting her straight to the draft too because of how she was reacted to on Raw. So, do you think that they pull the trigger with Jordan and make her the new hit girl for NXT?
Yeah, I think so. I think for sure we're at like I think we're at least going to get at least one new champion. If it's not Miles Bourne, it's going to be Jordan Grace. Like, yeah, I just think they're calling up a lot more people than they would have in previous years. Like, I think that's just what the vibe feels like. Like, we just have so many names that we could say that could get called up. So this is just a great time to reset like all these championship pictures and stuff. So have Jordan at the top, and then let's see who else is like still on NXT afterwards after people get called up, and then we can really see like who her contenders are.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. I think it's a good way to reset it and not a bad
Hmm.
person to choose to reset it with.
Yeah,
But yo, that wraps up the recap part of the episode. Very, very fun episode. It was kind of not that many matches, and the ones that were there weren't super long or drawn out. But it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. The crowd was hot. The crowd was in good spirits. No drama. No anything crazy
hmm,
like that. So that was good. But now it's a part where I get to ask you some questions about yourself. I'm gonna
yep,
keep them a little wrestling related. I got one personal for you, and then I got two wrestling related ones.
for sure.
So the first question for you, Superstar Da, is what wrestling moment changed your life for you personally? What was the moment?
Um, ooh, I think that's a tough one. There's like a few things that come to mind. I want to say the feud between Randy Orton and Triple H.
Mm.
I must have been fifth grade, like late, like maybe fourth or fifth grade and stuff. And just like see, like I think that was like the first time I like truly hated. No, no, I'm
That
talking
one?
about like
Oh,
no, I'm talking about
not the
like
OG?
nope, nope, no. I'm talking about like when Randy like punts the whole McMahon family. So I'm talking
Oh,
bald Randy. Like that
yeah.
was the first heel who
Crash
I
Out
truly like
Randy.
hated. Yep. Like I think that was the first time I truly felt like hatred in my heart, man. Like just like thinking
Yeah.
back. But now Randy's like my favorite like superstar of like all time now. And I think that's because he was able to like do such good work and get such like a good response out of me. I still
Mhm.
think Triple H probably should have won that feud. I'm trying to remember if he did, but I think he lost that at WrestleMania, right? If I'm not
Yeah, I feel like
mistaken.
that might have been the one
Yeah.
Randy. I can't
Yeah, I think that was
remember,
the one.
yeah.
Yeah, I think
We're
that
getting
was the
old.
one where, yeah, right. But I think that moment for sure. I mean, there's some like honorable mentions for sure. I think when Undertaker put when he did the Hell's Gate for like the first time, I think that was like the first time I like felt like like concerned. So like
Do you
all
like
these moments when yeah, like when I felt like a pure like actual like dang like is this real? Like ooh, like those moments for sure.
yeah, man. All right, so my second question is the personal one. So like you
Hmm.
said, you work a lot with special needs. Like I've seen the work that you do. I've seen your passion firsthand. I've literally been your partner in crime in some of these jobs. Um, dude, like what inspires you to give back the way that you do? Like and take the time out of your own life to really help others feel comfortable
Yeah,
in their own skin.
that's man, it's crazy because because I've tried to like think about like what that where that inspiration comes from for sure. But like, I guess at this point, I've been doing it for so long because I feel like what I've been doing this type of work since I was like 18, 19. So like
Hmm.
going on like 9, 10 years, that's almost like two-thirds of like my life, right? And I guess my whole life I've been like a caretaker in a way. I have like a really big I like family and stuff. So like little backstory, I'm like the youngest of 7 kids, right? So all my siblings have kids of their own. So like, I kind of like grew up like helping take care of like my nieces and nephews and stuff.
Hmm.
So I guess that kind of gave me like this nurturing personality and stuff. And then I didn't realize that I was like good, I was like fit for this type of work when I worked at a camp before like our camp where we met, right? This was
Yeah.
back in New York and it was just like a regular like day camp and stuff. But there was one week where like one of the parents asked me if I could just like be a one-on-one with one of their kids because he had a disability, right? So that's when I was kind of like exposed to it for like the first time and like I guess like I kind of start to like think of like the world a little bit differently. And then like a year later, I just saw the job pop up on Indeed and I applied to it. And I was like, huh, like this work is really like rewarding in a way because
Hmm.
you just get a lot of perspective. Like you just meet so many types of people, whether it's our campers or even just like co-workers and stuff. Like when I met you, you were from where like Michigan
Yep.
and stuff, and I was coming and like I was coming from New York, so it was like
Mr.
this place
Buffalo,
where,
man.
yeah, man, like we like get this place where it's just people from like all over the country, dang, all over from the world, you could even
Yeah.
say. So like from all types of walks of life, whether it's us or like helping our campers and stuff. So like it just really opens your eyes and it makes you want to like give back in like any way you can. So
Yeah, bro.
yeah,
It's a beautiful feeling and it's a beautiful thing that you do and don't stop doing it. I had
thanks,
to
man.
take a break because them 18-hour days were killing me.
Yeah.
But like I already know that I'll be back sooner than later. But all right. Last question for you. We're gonna make this one a little quick. For this
Yep.
year's 2025 men's breakout and women's breakout tournament. I know we haven't had anybody announce yet as to who's gonna be in it. And I know we have like LFG and Evolve and all
Hmm.
those different things going on. If you could take a shot in the dark right now as to who's going to win the men's 2025 and the women's 2025 tournament for the breakout tournament. Who do you think it's going to be?
Ooh, I think I'm gonna go for the men. If he does not get called up, uh, even though he's relatively new, he's experienced. I'm gonna go Ricky Saints.
Okay.
And for the women, this is my this is my favorite person right now. I'm gonna go Sol Ruka. I don't know how long she keeps the
I feel like
women's North
can she
American.
win that tournament again though? I feel like
She's won it
I
before?
don't think she's won it, but I think she's been in it.
You could only be in it one time?
I don't know.
Okay, so if not her, has Jade. So my second would be Jada Parker. Has Jada Parker been in this
I
tournament?
think she was in it before too. There's the year that Lolo won it. I think it was
Jesus,
both of them were
Zarya?
in it.
All right, Zarya.
Zarya could be it. Zarya could be a
Okay,
good one.
Zarya.
If she don't beat up Soul for her title
Yep.
anytime soon, then
That
yeah, that
yeah,
sound I like
that
that. Ricky
yeah.
Saints and Zarya. All
Yep,
right.
Ricky Simpson Zarya. Let's do it.
All right, brother. Well, yo, thank you so much for being here. One more time before we get up out of here and I do the whole little goodbye spiel. You want to tell
Yep.
everybody where they can find you and how they can listen to your podcast and support you in what you do.
Yep, you guys can find me at Behind the Barricade Podcast. Our Instagram is at underscore Behind the Barricade. You can also find us on Spotify at Behind the Barricade Podcast or on YouTube under the same name. If you guys want to follow me on my personal page, it's at superstar.dar. Yeah, I might make an art page or soon, but in the meantime, yeah, thanks for having me, man. I really
Yeah,
appreciate
dude. Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you. That guy's very talented, by the way. Guy does a lot of
Thanks,
stuff,
man.
dabbles
I
in a
made
lot of
these
different
shirts,
things.
baby,
Yes, I'm gonna need one of
and the
those.
hat. Yeah, of course, of
I'll
course.
definitely take a hat, bro. Hell yeah. You know I love me some hats. All right, but yo, thank you guys so much for listening, watching, tuning in. However you guys are, supporting this channel. Thank you guys so much. This is episode 49. Next time I see you, I believe it will be for our LFG final episode finale coverage from episodes, I believe, 8 all the way through the very end. I think we might have even covered one since then, but we're going to be talking about LFG to wrap up things here for season 2. Fatherless will be back on the show, but this is Najee. This is NXT with Najee, a part of the Wrestling Heroes and Insiders podcast, aka The Whip Show. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you, Superstar Dar, for all of your time. Until the next time, y'all. Peace.
That's great. Life is for the dreamers like me. Journey down the street.